Left channel, right channel, center.
VTuber 一問一答自己紹介
Yeah, and the tape's
それじゃあ
rolling.
行くよせーのお名前は
Katt Phloxworthy.
呼び方は
Just Cat is fine.
あなたは何系 VTuber?
Nerdy cat girl who features spaceflight.
誕生日は
May 4th.
年齢は
Older than Pneumatic.
性別は
Transgender
身
female.
長は
4'11".
出身は
Sacramento County.
チャームポイントは
Dialogue hair clip.
突然ですがモノマネどうぞ
Yeah, what's up, Dad?
活動場所は
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube.
はじめの挨拶
Thank you for joining me.
終わりの挨拶
Bye.
推しマークは
Not at present.
配信タグは
Cat-like feed.
ファンアートは
Cat pics.
ファンネームは
Cat's apprentices.
好きな色は
Iris Indigo.
好きなことは
Vintage computers and
得
video.
意なことは
Technology.
ここで一言愛の告白好
I love you.
きな食べ物は
Ethnic foods.
好きな飲み物は
Craft soda.
好きな漫画は
Pizza 10.
好きなアニメは
Planet.
好きなゲームは
Left 4 Dead 2.
好きな音楽は
Classic rock.
苦手なことは
Human stupidity.
尊敬するのは
Space fairy people.
叶えたい夢は
ISS crew
最後にみん
interview.
なに一言どう
Thanks
ぞ
so much for your support and a final status check.
Go Atlas.
Go Centaur.
Go Katt Phlox.
You have permission to launch.
3, 2, 1. RD-180 ignition. Booster ignition and liftoff of Atlas V and Centaur. Whoops, sorry about hitting the wrong button earlier, but anyway, that was easily fixed though. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me and welcome. Hi everybody, Katt Phloxworthy here. It's been a little bit. Yeah, I've been quite busy. One of the things I've been doing was making a few other adjustments on my machines, most notably one of the things I probably should have done from the very outset of getting these machines in the first place, which first of all started with Windows 11 on here anyway, which by itself is a good thing only because I'm not coming from a previous install of Windows 10. But I will go on that little tangent in just a moment. What I had to do, what I ended up doing was turning off a lot of the stuff that would be privacy leaks. Back to our overlords of Microsoft. Yeah, go screw yourselves. Anyway, I went ahead and did that. Plus, on top of that, I removed a lot of the stuff I could get away with removing. That would either be just why the hell did they put the shit in here? And a few other items that really had no business being there. If for no other reason, just because there's really no reason for them to be here for a streaming machine, and especially since I'm trying to keep performance at a maximum. I mean, basically, I want to use high performance with as few resources as I can get away with. And right now, it looks like I'm going to take a look at the VTuber machine real quick just to see what it looks like right now. Yeah, it actually is. It's actually less than the studio machine, which is what is actually taking more of either that or the encoder, which I find rather interesting because ordinarily the VTuber was actually one of the highest resource using machines. But then again, I also did a couple of things. One is all that other stuff that I was mentioning just now, which is decrufting the configuration, as well as all the turning off all the stuff that really had no business being on. And on top of that, and conversely, turning on stuff that really ought to be on, which ended up having to be off. So we've got that taken care of. But the other thing is I migrated from a GeForce GTX 1050 Ti to a GeForce 1080 MX GXT. Let me try that again. GTX 1080. Excuse me. Couple things. One, I'm getting a little bit of I'm still fighting a cold that I got like last week, and on top of that, I'm still dealing with Also, just a little bit of stuff going on outside in terms of air quality. In fact, I might close the window in a minute or two. But anyway, once I did all those changes, things seem to be working a lot better. But as for the CPU utilization on the studio machine, I don't know what's going on with that. But on top of that, I put in a request to get some information on the VTuber side of things. I don't think it's necessarily going to be an issue on the VTuber side. Right now, I'm just watching what's going on the studio side, which is where the gaming, whichever gaming machine I'm at, or even both, as well as of course the VTuber machines feed into, and then the output of that goes into the encoder, and those go on to YouTube and Twitch. So anyway, that's another thing I can deal with later. But in any event, I just wanted to make sure that everything looks like it's good, and thus far things have been going pretty well. I'm also watching on let me take a look at one other item here. Haven't seen any updates just yet, but what's going on, we're still waiting. Apparently, starting to get a little bit later than anticipated. Probably going to be closer to there it goes. They just started the broadcast. They have anyway, on that, we are going to be joining Rocket Lab momentarily. Basically, what they're going to be doing is launching a small payload into orbit from the Japan Aeronautics Exploration Agency, or JAXA, which is going to be taking several different payloads up into orbit, about 8 or so of them on one dedicated vehicle, which is being used to test a whole bunch of different technologies that are out there that are in the process of being trialed in space. So we get to see the very beginning of portion of that in about 20 minutes from now. I'm waiting on the actual coverage to start, and then we'll go ahead and join them momentarily. But anyway, there was another one that was going to be on the 10th. I was like in a mad dash to try and get that thing going. It was another Electron launch, but unfortunately, I ended up having to essentially scrub because I did not come close enough time-wise. But apparently, they ended up scrubbing anyway, so no foul, nothing lost at this point. So we're good. We're just waiting on more opportunities for launch on that side of things. So more soon coming on that. So we will be watching what's going on. Excuse me. So more will be coming on that. As I will be keeping an eye on the various feeds out there for information for that. So hopefully we'll have more information on that before too long. But anyway, we will be joining up with Rocket Lab in a little bit, and that's another thing that I've been I need to go and catch up a little bit on, and apparently that is with Neutron, which is their larger vehicle, and which will be using new engine called Archimedes, which will be an engine much like the one that's on which will be the BE4, which will be an open cycle gas generator engine. Excuse me. So, and it too, like the BE4, will be a methalox engine using liquid methane and liquid oxygen as the bipropellants for that particular engine. So we'll have it'll be interesting to see how that goes once that comes up. And they've also got another launch. I think they have their main launch vehicles. Their main launch site is going to be in the same area as the current one that's in at the Wallops Island, Virginia facility, right next to that, and not too far away from Northrop Grumman's launch pad. Excuse me. Yeah, it's been I imagine everybody's been dealing with all the being under the weather and such. So hopefully, let's see. I'm going to take a look at something real quick before we go on. But more stuff is coming soon. Need to get some water, and that's one of the things I've been making it a point to do, and that is keeping hydrated throughout these times when I've come down with a cold and all that stuff. But anyway, things were, and also on top of that, other things are coming up real soon. Most notably, again, I'm sorry. Let me actually, you know what? I'm gonna go and mute the. My mic for a second. I'm gonna go close the window. I'll be right with you guys. Stand by. Okay, there we go. I'm also taking a look and making sure everything is set up right on the on my mic and everything else. Been doing some other minor tweaks to and just mainly lately today I was updating a lot of OBS Studio plugins, and now I just find out that OBS Studio itself just had 2 recent releases, with the most recent being 32.0.4, with following hot on the heels of 32.0.3, and apparently I'd have to go and look at those all that information again and see what they have to say, see what changes have been made and what updates have been made, and but anyway, also updated BitFocus Companion, which recently received an update, so I went ahead and installed that before starting stream. Haven't updated OBS Studio yet, but that is forthcoming. So anyway, as far as other games go, I still want to finish off Black Mesa, the replay, as it were. Plus some other things I would love to do, and that is I'm probably going to end up. I was watching someone play. Oh shoot. BioShock. That's right. It's just that I need to play BioShock 2 again from the start. At least I think it's BioShock anyway. Hang on a sec. Let me go look at my... Boy, they are still taking their time on that one. They may be... I'm going to go take a look at the... while we're at it, we're going to take a look at the... I'm going to look at the... Reloading the page, see what they have to say. The actual they're going to be their actual window starts at about the top of the hour, but actually the T0 is 9 after, so we are going to be keeping an eyes on that. Apparently the weather is looking very good right now. I guess we're just getting close to the because we right now about 20 minutes away from, we should be seeing that come up before too long. Let's see, I'm going to bring that up and take a look at that. Yep, in fact, we should be joining to them right now. Here we go. That visual never gets old, as well as the ones coming from all the sounds that are coming out of there nowadays as well too. And there they are.
Launch Complex 1, the world's first private orbital launch site, situated on New Zealand's stunning east coast. We are getting ready for liftoff of our 19th Electron launch of the year, the Raise and Shine mission. This is the first of 2 dedicated launches for the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. My name is Hannah Jury, and with me is Andrew Haig.
Thanks, Hannah. It's great to be here. Now, we're joining you from Rocket Lab's Mission Control Centre in Auckland, New Zealand, and counting down to launch for Electron's liftoff today at 4:09 p.m. local time here in New Zealand, which translates to 12:09 p.m. Japan Standard Time or 03:09 UTC. Now, today's mission is our 77th Electron launch overall,
7:09
but
p.m.
our first time launching a dedicated mission for
Pacific
JAXA,
Standard Time,
which is an honor for our team and an exciting moment for Electron. Now, their RAISE 4 spacecraft onboard Electron is the first of 2 missions for the agency's Innovative Satellite Technology Demonstration Program, an initiative to demonstrate new capabilities and technologies developed by Japan's space economy.
We're currently at T-minus 16 minutes and looking good for an on-time liftoff. If for any reason we're not able to launch today, we do have backup launch opportunities throughout this week to try again. But for now, the weather is looking good and trending green for liftoff. The range is clear
That's
too,
good.
and we're currently tracking no issues with the vehicle, the payload, or the pad in these final minutes before liftoff.
Now, the RAISE 4 satellite on Electron today is headed to a 540-kilometer circular low Earth orbit on a 97.5-degree inclination, launching on a southerly direction from Launch Complex 1 over Antarctica. RAISE 4 and a further 8 CubeSats, collectively known as Innovative Satellite Technology Demonstration 4, is the 4th mission of JAXA's Innovative Satellite Technology Program that's being deployed across 2 Electron launches.
JAXA's goal with this program is to respond to Japan's national and industrial priorities and offer up an opportunity for companies and organizations to test their technologies in space. Here's more from JAXA.
JAXA, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, is a national research and development agency that supports Japan's space development and utilization through technology. Its missions range from Earth observation, planetary exploration, and fundamental space science, space transportation, as well as human spaceflight activities aboard the International Space Station. JAXA
That was
also promotes
Kibo.
collaboration with industry through research on next-generation aircraft technologies and on-orbit demonstrations of innovative space technologies. The Innovative Satellite Technology Demonstration Program is a JAXA initiative that collaborates with private companies and academic institutions to pioneer the future of space development. Through this program, innovative ideas are tested and demonstrated in space, leading to the creation of numerous new technologies. This marks the 4th chapter of the Innovative Satellite Technology Demonstration Program. RAISE 4, the 4th small demonstration satellite carrying 8 demonstration-themed components, and 8 CubeSats are now heading into space.
RAISE 4, the 4th small demonstration satellite, is designed to demonstrate 8 demonstration-themed components on orbit. Based on requests from the demonstration users, the satellite is operated to provide both experimental data from the component and environmental data during the mission operations. In the Innovative Satellite Technology Demonstration 4, 8 CubeSats are also given the opportunity for space demonstration. Each CubeSat carries a challenging concept aimed at advancing satellite component performance and innovative development methods, which lead to revitalize the space industry and to create new space business models. These demonstrations will help expand the possibilities for future space utilization.
JAXA will continue to take on challenges toward the future of space.
and it sounds like it's going to go into
Raise
a
and
retrograde
Shine
orbit.
is the first of our 2 launches for JAXA taking place for this program, with the second one, Kakushin Rising, scheduled to launch in the new year. For today's mission, though, there are 8 technologies integrated into JAXA's 110-kilogram RAISE 4 satellite. But before we delve into each of those payloads, we have an integral milestone to check off ahead of launch.
That's right. Coming up shortly at T-minus
Oh,
12
the
minutes,
go or
the launch
no-go call.
operations team will enter into the go-no-go poll to run a status check across all stations. Our launch director running the count today is Paula Taras Serralonga. Paula will check in with each operator to confirm that all stations are clear of issues before launch. Let's check in with the operators at range and mission control to hear the go-no-go poll as we count
I
down
think
to
that happens
liftoff.
at T-minus 12 minutes. Here we go. Coming up on T-minus 12 minutes and counting. Mark.
Core proceeding with a go-no-go sequence. Stage.
Stages go.
Avionics.
Avionics is go.
GNC.
GNC is go.
Beacon.
Beacon is go.
T1.
T1 is go.
GC.
GC is go.
PLS.
And thank you for the join the follow.
MET.
Met is go.
MM.
MM is go.
LSUP.
LSUP is go.
The go-no-go sequence is now complete. We are T-minus 11 minutes, 21 seconds and counting. We're go for terminal count auto sequence starting at T-minus 10 minutes. From this time, the 3-word procedure is in effect.
Those 3 words being hold, hold, hold.
Excellent result out of mission control there, with all systems.
T-minus 11 minutes and
Electron,
counting.
and the
Everything
range
has been
clear
called
and
as
ready to
go
support
for
liftoff
launch.
at 4:09 local time.
With
Coming up in just 10
entering
minutes.
terminal count at T-minus
Now,
10
we
minutes.
mentioned earlier that the RAISE 4 satellite from JAXA is home to 8 different technologies from a wide variety of Japanese organizations. And JAXA's goal is to provide opportunities to companies and organizations to demonstrate their technologies in space. So here's what each of them are designed to do. The first technology featured is Helios R, a lightweight membrane structure with antenna functions and power generation that's being developed for high-power, high-capacity 5G comms for small satellites by Sakase AdTech Company. The Leomi IoT transmission device by NTT Corporation will test the concept of an ultra-wideband satellite IoT platform, and the Gemini GPU by Mitsubishi Electric is designed to demonstrate high-speed computations for AI processing and synthetic aperture radar reconstruction.
Up next is KIRX. This payload is a
T-minus
water-based
10 minutes and
propulsion
counting
system that will be tested by a company
on
called
terminal
Pale
count.
Blue. Then we have the TDS PPT payload, which is an electric propulsion device demonstrator. This one is designed by the Takahashi Industry Company for ultra-small satellites. Also integrated to RAISE 4 is a radiation-resistant color camera by the Mark Corporation, as well as a next-generation space microprocessor from Mitsubishi Heavy Industries called SoySock 4. This technology will demonstrate their ability to detect ships from space. They will use AI to downlink only the necessary data and then use that data to perform retraining before updating the payload's AI chip.
And the final tech demo integrated into RAISE 4 is D-Sail, a deployable mechanism by Axel Space that is designed to speed up a satellite's deorbit once its mission is complete.
Wow, it's super cool to see government organizations like JAXA supporting innovative companies like those on board today. We wish everyone all the best in commissioning their technology demonstrations after today's launch.
Avionics LD mission cord.
LD avionics.
Avionics proceed with sequence 59 avionics terminal checks.
In work.
So what they're doing right now is, in case you're wondering what all the clouds are, that's
LD stage.
Stage proceed with sequence 60 stage terminal checks.
Copy sequence 60 in work.
S-band high power for flight. Stage 1 and 2 high voltage batteries ready for flight.
those batteries are actually going to be powering the engine, the turbo, the pumps on the engines. I can't call them turbo pumps because they're not burning anything to power those. But anyway, the all those
LDGC.
GC, proceed with sequence 61, launch pad ready.
Understood. Sequence 61 at work.
The clouds that you're seeing is gaseous oxygen that is boiling out from the insides of the tanks.
Engines ready.
Alrighty,
also-
let's check in on the countdown clock. We're now at T-minus 7 minutes in the countdown to liftoff. Coming up shortly is when the team issues the command to retract the strongback in preparation for launch. The strongback is the vertical support structure that holds Electron upright while it's on the launch pad and provides stability during pre-launch operations. It also houses essential umbilical connections that supply power, data, and fluids to Electron before liftoff. As we get closer to launch, the strongback will tilt backwards slowly and move away from the rocket to make sure it's well clear during liftoff. We should see that happen from the pad camera we have up on the screen now. And it's a great indicator that we're proceeding well toward an on-time liftoff.
And speaking of an on-time liftoff, we heard earlier from the launch director at the end of the go, no-go poll that all stations are green and go for launch. So let's walk you through what happens during Electron's 9 minutes of flight to orbit. Now, just before we hit T0, all 9 3D printed Rutherford engines on Electron's first stage will ignite, and at T0, Electron lifts off the pad. Now, those engines will burn through the liquid oxygen and kerosene stored in Electron's first stage until that's completely drained of its propellant at around 2.5 minutes after liftoff.
Once we reach that point in the mission, Electron no longer needs the weight of its empty first stage. The Rutherford engines shut down, and the first stage separates from the second stage. After separation, the Stage 2 vacuum-optimized Rutherford engine ignites to continue the journey to orbit. Attached to the second stage is the kick stage, which carries the Raise 4 satellite. Both are
T-minus
protected
6
inside
minutes
the rocket's nose
and
cone,
counting.
or fairing, during ascent. But once the first stage is discarded, it's time to jettison those fairing halves as well. This happens just over 3 minutes into the flight, and it's the moment we'll see Raise 4 against the backdrop of space for the very first time.
Now, the second stage of Electron has the longest burn time across the entire launch, with that single Rutherford vacuum engine firing for over 6.5 minutes to take us from the edge of space to orbital velocity. Now, along the way, the second stage will perform a maneuver called the battery hot swap. And it's an action that's unique to Electron because we use batteries to power the electric pumps of our engines. At around 6.5 minutes into flight is when we swap in a new set of batteries, and that's when we should hear a call out from mission control for that battery hot swap maneuver.
After that,
You
the
think
second
these
stage continues
launch is
on
related
until
to
around
HL3?
2 +
I'm
9
not
minutes.
100%
At
certain on
point,
that.
the
I have to go
Rutherford
look that one
engine will
up.
shut down, and the kick stage will separate to carry on the mission with Raise 4. From there, it's another 45 minutes
Just
or so
inside of
until
5
we reach
minutes.
payload deployment for JAXA's spacecraft.
Now, of course, before we get to liftoff, we have to make our way through the final count. And that starts when Electron's flight computer takes over command and control of the rocket at T-minus 2 minutes. At T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds, just after Electron switch over to the auto sequence, we should hear a call that LOX load is complete on Electron. And at T-minus 1 minute to liftoff, we can expect confirmation that the launch vehicle's first and second stages are pressurized for launch. Then it's through to T-minus 10 seconds when our launch director will begin the countdown to launch alongside the flight computer.
With the vehicle healthy, no issues reported for Raise 4, clear weather, and the range ready to support, everything is looking great for an on-time launch at 4:09 local time. So, let's raise the volume on mission control and listen in as we approach the final moments before liftoff. Go Raise and Shine, go JAXA.
Oh, yeah,
and go
that's
Electron.
right. I don't know for absolute certain. I'll have to go look at it, no, to be absolutely sure.
Mission code.
GCLD.
ECS disabled. Pad auto sequence is armed. The pad is ready for launch.
Copy, GC.
So, we're now coming up on 3.5 minutes before launch. Everything appears to be green, both in terms of the vehicle, it's the payload, and like what I was going to say, those, if you happen to see all that white on those are not actually, that's not paint, that's actually frost that's accumulated on the outside walls. These are not insulated. And Christine the First, thank you so much for the follow and welcome to the workshop and labs. And I hope you enjoy the enjoying the visuals that are about to come up momentarily. T-minus 3 minutes and counting.
And from now, there should be no red flags on your critical LCCs. Beacon LD in mission court.
We're about to go into. We're about to go from ground-based computers to computers aboard the vehicle ahead of launch at T-minus 2 minutes.
Confirmed, all ASGOs are green.
Copy. We'll go for auto sequence start at T-minus 2 minutes. LDs go for launch.
It looks like the strongback has retracted ahead of launch. That is normally also used to erect the vehicle, which is integrated in the horizontal position in the hangar, and then brought out to the pad, and then rotated into the vertical position. Handoff should be okay, control should be handing over right about now.
Vehicle is fully on internal power. AFTS is green and enabled for flight.
And they also transferred power from ground-based systems to the vehicle itself. Here we go. Coming up on T-minus 90 seconds and counting. They just finished loading liquid oxygen on both stages, and now we're getting ready for the final part of the launch sequence. He's Half-Life 3. Hope Gay Ben is dropped inside the rocket. Excuse me. We're inside of 1 minute.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 tanks are pressed for flight.
All the tanks are now pressurized in advance of launch. Excuse me. T-minus 30 seconds and counting.
T-minus 20 seconds and counting.
15. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Ignition and liftoff of Electron carrying the Raise and Shine mission to a retrograde 97-degree orbit, and the vehicle has cleared the tower. And now the vehicle is headed downrange to place it above water in the event of an abort scenario. And about a few seconds just before the top of the next minute, they'll be leaving. They'll be going through Mach 1.
Successful lift
Followed by max Q, the area of maximum aerodynamic pressure during the lowest portions of the atmosphere.
Listening in for confirmation that Electron has passed through max Q, the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Once through max Q, the rocket will have enjoyed.
We're about ready to hit Mach 1, standing by.
And those loads will continue to ease as Electron climbs higher and higher into space.
We should be going supersonic, Mach 1. And they're approaching max Q, where the atmosphere will press its hardest on the vehicle as it goes through the lowest portions of the Earth's atmosphere. They just called clearing max Q.
And there's the call out for max Q. Now those Rutherford
about a minute, anywhere between half a minute to a minute left in the burn for the first stage.
19 kilometers above the launch pad and traveling.
They now have what they're doing right now is they're burning 8 sea-level Rutherford engines, which use electric run pumps to bring propellants into the tanks into the combustion chamber. And we're going to, and then after that, they will get ready to shut down the first 8 engines, and then disconnect, and then detaching the first stage, or in the process called staging, ready to ignite the last engine, which is the vacuum optimized engine on second stage.
Entered burnout
But-
detect mode.
About 10 minutes or 10 seconds or so until Miko, main engine cutoff.
Miko confirmed.
We have Miko. Staging.
Stage separation confirmed.
Stage 2 ignition confirmed.
The pumps have started and the engine is ignited.
Guidance is nominal.
As you just heard,
And on the
that's
left, you see the
Miko,
first stage
separation, and
fall
second
away.
Stage ignition confirmed successfully by mission control. Next up, we can expect fairing jettison. We've got a camera inside the fairing, so we should.
Oh,
get
that'll
a
be cool
pretty
to
good
see.
view
Here we
of
go. We
race
just passed the
4
Kármán line.
exposed
About to see
space
the.
for the very first time.
There's the interior on the right of the fairing. They're about ready to crack open the fairing halves. There go the fairing halves. We're looking straight up, and there go the fairing halves
Fairing
headed back to
jettison
Earth.
Confirmed, and that's race 4 on your screen there as Electron continues to carry this mission to orbit. We have a
We're
few
closing
minutes
the
between now and our next
super portal with
milestone
this
for
one.
Electron, which will be battery hot swap for the Stage 2 Rutherford engine. For now, Electron is performing nominally, traveling at a velocity of 8,500 kilometers per hour, and currently at more than 133 kilometers above Earth.
And what you see here, that square device in front of us is a battery, one of two that power the engine, that power the pumps. For the first part, I'd say about 2/3 of the burn. Once it gets to the battery hot stop point, that and the battery on the exact opposite side will be detached, and while they do that, they switch over to the internal battery, which of course is the hot swap. They have to do that because, unlike say a Falcon 9's Merlin 1D or the RD-180,
Stage 2 function nominal.
which is on the Atlas V, they
Now, the team in mission control have been closely monitoring the vehicle's performance and engine power levels in the lead up to the battery hot swap event on the second stage. Electron's Rutherford engine uses a battery system to power its electric propellant pumps. As the second stage continues to orbit, those battery packs are depleting, which means Electron needs to switch to a new set of batteries to keep the engine burning to full duration. Now, we call this mover the battery hot swap, and it's scheduled to take place during today's flight at around T plus 6 minutes and 29 seconds.
When that swap takes place, the old battery packs are removed and fall away from the rocket. The silver pack on the right-hand side of the screen will be the one to watch during that event. When the hot
it's on
swap
the right.
occurs, it will disconnect immediately, and you should see it fall away out of frame. At T plus 5 minutes on the clock, we've got about 60 seconds left until that milestone.
It also bears noting that they have to get rid of that, not just because they need to get new batteries, but because they are, unlike the engines that I mentioned earlier, which burn propellant to run the what are the turbo pumps, which this engine does not have. We have to actually detach those batteries in order to reduce the weight. They should be coming up on battery hot swap in about, I'd say, about 15 seconds or so. T plus 6 minutes.
Holding nominal, approaching hot swap, roughly 30 seconds.
Wow, we can actually still hear the sounds coming from there. Coming up on hot swap and battery jettison momentarily.
Throttling down.
They're throttling them down so they can ahead of removal of the other batteries. There go the batteries.
Hot swap successful.
Turns out I was wrong about that square thing, and what they were saying was what I needed to watch.
Hot swap by Electron. The second stage is powering on beautifully, carrying Raise 4 to orbit. Stage 2 is now traveling at 16,000 kilometers an hour and performing nominally as it heads toward our 540 kilometer altitude target. Between battery hot swap and SECO is another 2.5 minutes of burn time for the second stage Rutherford engine, which produces up to 5,800 pounds of thrust in the vacuum of space.
Now, Electron's second stage has completed almost all of its stage events during this phase of flight. And all that's left to complete now is engine shutdown and stage separation, which will be a very similar process to what we saw earlier in the launch for the first and second stages.
And the speed to watch out for on the upper right-hand corner of the screen is 27,000 kilometers per hour. That is the approximate orbital velocity. And at that point, they will be in an elliptical orbit with basically where there's a high point and a low point in the orbit. They may or may not do a circularization, which basically makes the orbit circular, such that it is pretty much equidistant from the planet the entire way around.
For the second stage. Very soon, we're going to see the Rutherford engine power down and shut off completely for our SECO maneuver, or second engine cutoff on the second stage. Once the second stage's flight is complete, the kick stage, with JAXA's RAISE 4 spacecraft attached, will be separated into a staging orbit ahead of payload deployment. SECO is scheduled to take place just a couple of seconds after T plus 9 minutes. Not long to go now.
It also bears noting, if you were to look at
Guidance terminal, 20 seconds remaining.
They're about to go into SECO, or second engine cutoff. We're about to hear the sound of the engine shut down. We're now at orbital velocity.
SECO confirmed.
We have SECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
They just called third stage separation from the top of the second stage.
Great job by Electron. That shutdown of the vacuum Rutherford engine and separation of the kick stage confirmed for the Raise and Shine mission.
RAISE 4 is now traveling on an elliptical path around Earth with a perigee of 188 kilometers, on its way to an apogee of 540 kilometers. In the final moments before payload deployment, once we reach that apogee, the kick stage will fire up its Curie engine to kick us into a circular orbit, hence the name kick stage.
Now that's scheduled to take place at around T plus 51 minutes into the mission, so we're going to take a break on the broadcast now until engine startup begins. And we'll leave you with this graphical representation of where the kick stage is above Earth. And if we're above your country, jump outside and give RAISE 4 a wave. Otherwise, we'll see you back here for deployment in around 40 minutes or so.
It's also worth noting that this is actually considered a small sat launch vehicle. The vehicle stands at about 60 feet tall, and each of those Rutherford engines, especially the lower stage, where they have even when they have the smaller nozzle on that end. Interesting to see a picture of Peter Beck, the CEO of Rocket Lab, holding one of those engines in his hands. It's about the size of a large kitchen wastebasket, and these things are about, I'd say about, I forget the exact diameter. It's something on the order of 4 to 5, at most 8 feet in diameter, and it is a small vehicle. And they use RP1, which is highly refined form of kerosene for the fuel, and of course liquid oxygen as the oxidizer on both stages. And the difference on the second stage for the Rutherford vacuum optimized engine is that they use a much larger and wider nozzle to handle the expansion ratio of the flames in space, as opposed to the eight sea level Rutherfords, which use a narrower nozzle at the base. I think what I'm going to do, since this is going to be a long one, and generally we don't get to see much of anything, and what they do on the Curie engine, which is a very small engine, they actually, in the case of, say, whenever they had Starlink stuff, when I used to cover those, they would only run the Merlin vacuum optimized engine, or MVAC, for only maybe a second or two, because that's all that's needed in order to give it just enough delta V so that the perigee, the lowest point of the lowest point of the orbit, gets raised up to the same level as the apogee, which is the highest point of the orbit. So, anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and on my side, we're going to go to the chatting window here. Yeah, I need to relax on because I'm still dealing with my my cold. I'm thinking of possibly, as far as doing any kind of other streaming soon, I haven't decided yet. So let me see whom we might go say hi to in the meantime. I'm going to take a look at something real quick here. I can't believe no HL3 invoice in my rocket launch. Yeah. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, thank you for, but yeah, in any event, thank you for coming on in, and I hope you, but yeah, I know that I'd have to see what the latest is on, the Half-Life 3 related stuff is concerning any future Electron launch. I know that they did the Noam Chomsky launch to space, and of course, there is on just about every source-based game, there is a, well, or more particularly anything that involves Noam Chomsky, or is Half-Life related, or practically anything that I could tell of from Valve and their source engine based games. There's the No Malone. I can't wait. Where's Gabe? Can't wait to see it myself either. Yeah, I know. That'll be something to watch, because I really want to play Half-Life 3. I have not, but then again, I've heard stuff about originally, is it going to be Half-Life 2 Episode 3 or an actual outright Half-Life 3? Because originally they were planning to do a third episode in the episodic series, but that has not actually come to be just yet. But we'll see how things go. They gave up on Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Not surprising, especially with all the stuff. And on top of that, a lot of the various people involved, like Mark Laidlaw, Katt Phloxworthy Ch, and a few others, I believe, has since retired from Valve as far as doing all the writing of the story is concerned. And from what I understand, Mark Laidlaw is quite a well-published author himself. But yeah, that's an interesting. One of the things I need to do is watch that video that talks about the making of the Half-Life series, because so much goes into that. Let me see. But in the meantime, yeah, let's see here. Oops. Take a look at something real quick here. I think we're going to go ahead and do, I think I found something we're going to go ahead and go say hi to. she's in the process of playing Repo along with a few other people there. So we're going to go check in with Will Navali. Let's go ahead and also, before I do that, let me go do over here. There's some raid text for those people who don't have subscriptions. And if you don't, if you do have one, there's the previous one was for those. That's for those who have those are people who do have a sub. Let's go ahead and set this up real quick here. I'm going to go ahead and grab text real quick here. Okay, go ahead and start on that. And thank you for everybody for joining me, and hope everybody has a great evening. And as always, I like to say, hang on a sec here. As I always like to say, everybody, Slavu Ukraini. Thank you so much for coming on in, and thank you for those of you who came in and joined. And hope to see you soon. I hope to do another game before too long. We'll see how I'm feeling. So in any event, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you soon. Have a great one in the meantime. Bye.